At 2:18 p.m., Ontario Police Dispatch received a 911 call from a man indicating that his daughter, Araceli Arias, was in the backyard of their home in the 400 block of West Maple Street, and that she was armed with a gun and was trying to kill herself. Dispatch also learned from the caller that the female had possibly fired the handgun into the air before officers had arrived on scene.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
This is the emergency. My daughter is in the backyard. She got my gun. She wanted to kill.
She wanted to kill you?
No, we kill here.
She what?
She wanted to kill him here.
This is a residential property with a large lot containing multiple old cars, small structures, and debris. The layout of this property complicated ground officers' ability to safely locate and communicate with Arias. At 2:28 p.m., an Ontario Police helicopter crew located Arias standing on top of a shed in the rear of the property. The video captured by the air unit does not contain audio. Arias was seen holding a gun in her left hand and a machete in her right hand. Once the helicopter was overhead, they began making announcements to Arias over the PA system, instructing her to drop her weapons and climb down from the roof. As she stood on the shed, she waved both the gun and the machete around in several directions, at times pointing the gun towards our helicopter. As officers were getting into position around the property, Arias' son, Andre Garcia, put himself in harm's way by approaching and attempting to verbally negotiate with her. This complicated our efforts to deal with Arias by dividing our officers' attention and creating a need for them to move closer to protect Garcia. Based on Arias' irrational and dangerous behavior, officers now had to prepare for the possibility of her shooting Garcia or taking him hostage. As Garcia spoke with Arias, she repeatedly waved the machete and the handgun around, pointing it directly at him on multiple occasions. In addition, Arias pointed the gun directly at officers who were behind cover in close proximity to her location. As Arias continued to ignore commands from the police helicopter, Garcia climbed onto the shed with her. While on the shed, Garcia forcefully wrestled the gun away from Arias and attempted to jump down. Before he could get to a place of safety, Arias attacked him from behind, forcing the gun to fly out of his hands and land onto the ground. During the struggle, Arias' father was talking with the Ontario Police Dispatch over the phone. He told Dispatch that he was hiding on the property and was afraid if he ran out, she would see him. Once the gun fell to the ground, her father ran toward her and frantically started searching for the gun. Arias was able to jump down from the shed and locate the gun before either Garcia or her father were able to do so. In addition, she armed herself with a large metal pipe, which she found on the ground near the gun. Out of fear that Arias might shoot the two men, a reaction team of Ontario officers, which included a K-9 team, quickly entered the property.
Give me less, please. Actually, I got it. Hey, drop the gun! Drop it, drop it, drop it!
Once they entered the property, a German shepherd saw the officers approaching and ran toward them and attacked the police K-9. To protect the K-9 team and officers, an Ontario police sergeant fired his handgun at the dog, fatally striking it. When Arias heard these gunshots, she turned and saw the officers approaching. Officers gave Arias multiple commands to drop her gun. At this time, Arias pointed the handgun at approaching officers. Arias ran toward them with the handgun in her left hand and the metal pipe raised over her head in her right hand. In fear for their lives, two Ontario officers fired at Arias, striking her several times. As the team of officers worked to gain control of her father and Garcia, a second team of officers entered the property. This team included emergency medical personnel from the Ontario Fire Department. The second team took Arias to a place of safety to reduce the risk of exposure to any unknown threats. Medical aid was provided to Arias less than 3 minutes after the shooting. Following medical treatment at the scene, Arias was subsequently transported to a local hospital where she died from injuries sustained in the shooting. The following photos were taken by the Ontario Police Forensics Unit while at the scene of the incident. The photos include the 9mm Beretta handgun wielded by Arias, as well as the machete and the large metal pipe. The handgun had 1 round in the chamber and 2 rounds of ammunition in the magazine, ready to be fired.